live.
Greetings and welcome to part 2 of Typical Army Fuck Up, a special event here at the Untold Stories Project, where we are playing Everyday Heroes from Evil Genius Games. More specifically, we are previewing the upcoming Return of the Living Dead cinematic adventure book, which will be launching on Kickstarter on June 3rd. I am your host and game master, Aaron. Everyday Heroes is a modern-day rule set that is based on the 5th edition of the world's most popular RPG system, and in many ways acts as an unofficial follow-up to D20 Modern from the old days of 3rd edition. It is a D20-based system with most of the same basic rules as can be found in 5th edition. There are a variety of cinematic adventure licenses currently available for Everyday Heroes, including The Crow, Highlander, Escape from New York, Rambo, Kong Skull Island, and my personal favorite, Pacific Rim. Now, a quick word of warning. Unlike some of our other shows and streams, this show is rated M for mature. The actual movie of Return of the Living Dead was R-rated for violence, nudity, gore, profane language, and disturbing themes and images. Now, we probably won't go there for all of that, but do expect a fair amount of cursing, body horror, murder, along with potentially graphic descriptions of violence and gore. As a result, this show is not suitable for younger audiences, and it may be triggering to some adults. That said, it's not all gloom and doom for our heroes. You can help them out in action by liking our stream, subscribing, or donating bits, any of which can be used to give inspiration to the hero of your choice. You can also, if you're watching on Twitch, use our channel reward system to give moral support to a player. And as last week's rolls might show you, that +2 might really make a difference in some cases. So, I have a fantastic group of the living here with me tonight. Say hello, heroes.
Hello,
Hello,
heroes.
Heroes, let's go ahead and have you introduce yourselves. As our players introduce themselves, you may find that some of the names of their characters are familiar, especially if you are fans of the Living Dead films. So, players, tell us your name, who you're playing, where else our listeners can find you, and answer our question of the week, which is how well would you, not your character, but you, survive during a zombie apocalypse? And we will start with Calvin.
Okay. Hey everyone, I'm Calvin, and for this game, I am playing Judy, who is a medical expert who is really worried about her patients right now. And how would I do in a zombie apocalypse? Look, someone has to be the environmental storytelling somewhere. Someone's got to be the skeleton in a funny pose. I can be the guy who scrawls stuff on the walls, and then people come by and see it later without context, and they wonder, what does this mean? I can spray paint some weird stuff, but like I could kill a few minutes doing that. But anything else is a bit more effort than I feel like making.
Calvin's plan for the apocalypse graffiti.
Yeah.
He's just stocking up on spray paint.
I will let out my artistic talents, and someone I'm sure will enjoy it. And with that answer, I'll pass over to Aunt Puppy.
Hi, I'm Aunt Puppy. I'm playing Barbara, the charming caregiver that I am struggling with figuring out how to play. And how would I do in a zombie apocalypse? I think I would do very well in the zombie fighting because I am a very skilled shot and I know how to work both a crossbow and a longbow. So I think I would be good at the killing part of the zombies. I don't think I would be good at the surviving and eating stuff that I had to also kill and look at while it was being made. So that part of it I would not survive. I would be very good though at the like actual hunting of the zombies. But then if I could, so I would like to like have, which is nice because my husband is a very good cook. So I think we would be a good team to survive because he could just stay at home and then I'll kill all the things. But I would not survive at all on my own in any way, shape, or form outside of that. So, but with that, I will pass it to Deuce.
Howdy, everybody. I'm the Deuce. I'm the basal ganglia to Kevin's prefrontal cortex of the Untold Stories Project. Playing good old Tom, nice little guy, and I'd like to think that I'm moderately strong. I'm well read. I'm very versatile. I like tinkering, so I would die quickly because I'm also a pushover. I try and help people, and in the a dark, terrible Armageddon that is a zombie apocalypse, sometimes you got to look out for yourself, and I'm horrible about that. So join the good life. Look out for your brothers and sisters. That's what they're there for. But yeah. Plus, I'm a buffet. Like they just see me come, like, man, all the zombies get in on that. So yeah. With that, we'll go to the man who rocks out loud with that old metal sound, Jonesy.
Hi, everybody. My name is Jonesy, and you can find me here every once in a while. I'm usually in the Freedom League Dark game. As far as who am I playing, I'm playing Johnny, our 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 go-to mechanic slash repair guy slash has a questionable background because apparently I'm feeling typecast. Um, um, and as far as zombie apocalypse, I would do really great like the first few days, and then and yeah, I would be. I'm the guy that they think is going to survive, and then you're like, no, no, he's obviously they're set up there to show you that, yeah, no, it's a horrible, horrible fate. So,
Okay.
and with that, I'll kick it back over to Aaron.
All right. Just for the record, I am a out of shape father of three. I am mildly skilled in hand-to-hand combat, which means, oh, I am so dead. I would almost certainly be killed and eaten trying to protect my children. So
I like to think that
Yeah.
that you would be eaten by your zombie children.
yeah, I would like to think that my kids would do better in a zombie apocalypse than I would, but that said, no, if one of them was zombified, I would almost certainly be just like the woman in Night of the Living Dead when her daughter becomes a zombie and she just can't do anything about it other than go, oh no, 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 and then get killed by zombie little girl with a trowel. Not that I have a little girl anymore, because both of my girls are now legal adults, which is weird.
They're whole ass grown ups.
Exactly, they're whole ass adults. Fortunately, I've still got the cute little boy. All right. Anywho, when we last saw our heroes, they were all stationed at not stationed, but they were all inside of a hospital in Pittsburgh, where they discovered that the Army had apparently been doing experiments with a pesticide called Trioxin 245. Our heroes stumbled across the results of this when a dead body tried to eat a soldier. Since then, they've been doing their best to get patients to safety, figure out what's going on, and try to find a way to survive all of this. They've spoken some with the Colonel Glover. They don't seem to like him very much. He doesn't necessarily seem to like them a whole lot either, but he did at least issue weapons to them by Ben, who is a retired or former soldier, or not former, is a soldier, just not a part of this crew. They've also spoken with Harry Cooper, who they've found out works for the CIA and is does not trust the Colonel, like, at all. So Barbara had gone down into the basement to try to see what was going on with the zombies that were locked up in her morgue. And while doing so, was attacked by another animated corpse in the hallway. Her brother was on his way to come and try to do something about this. Tom had already gotten down there. And we also have the sergeant and Bobby who very badly wanted to open the doors to the morgue and let his buddies out, but the sergeant stopped him from doing that. We had just left off with kind of a three-way, well, that's a terrible image, but a grapple situation going on between the morgue zombie, Tom, and formerly Barbara, but she managed to get out of all of that. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. We had just left off with Tom's action, which means I believe that it is the sergeant. Judy, do you want to do anything about, the fact that Tom has, vanished down the stairs after Barbara, and now Johnny has gone running as well, and there are sounds coming from down the stairs? Would you like to add yourself into the initiative?
Sure would. Yeah, she's not going to stay up there.
Why don't you go ahead and roll initiative and work you in there?
Okay, initiative.
For what it's worth, don't recommend it. It sucks down here.
Yeah.
Full of zombies.
One out
It is full of
One
zombies.
out of 4 stars would not come back here again.
Service was terrible.
It's an 8 for Judy's initiative. We did also, at the start, there were a couple of subscribes, mostly Aunt Puppy and myself.
Well, Aunt Puppy and Calvin, where would you like to give inspiration to?
Myself. I'm just a girl.
I figured. Well, then I will give inspiration to Tom.
All right.
Oh, that's my honey bunny.
Mm-hmm. And also, he's probably going to need it.
All right. Very likely. The sergeant had already run forward last turn and tried to stab at the zombie, somewhat ineffectively. Or no, I guess it was Bobby who actually tried to stab at the zombie. But the sergeant is going to try to do the same thing, trying to get the zombie to come. What?
So just to recap, we tried to stab him and shoot him, the zombie, and it was very unsuccessful, correct?
No one has successfully shot the zombie, I
Okay.
don't believe. No, that's not true. The sergeant did shoot the zombie.
Okay.
And
I
it
was
did
like, I thought-
almost nothing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I thought somebody might have shot, but I couldn't remember if it was shot and stab or just shot.
I slugged him real good. He didn't
So
care.
the sergeant shot the zombie to almost no effect. The people who have either hit the zombie with a wrench or with their hands have hit the zombie to effectively no effect. The knife missed.
Okay, so we didn't
So-
see whether or not the knife could actually do something. It completely missed.
Correct.
Cool.
Same with your bone saw.
Oh yeah, because I can't roll for shit right now.
So yes, the sergeant is going to attempt to knife the zombie.
You get
And
advantage
apparently
for
the
what it's
sergeant
worth.
also cannot roll for shit. Huh?
Oh,
He still gets advantage where we're wrestling.
Well, then I will roll again. It did not matter. Not with a total of a 9 and a total of a 7. So yeah, the Sarge comes in. The zombie, on the other hand, let's see. He is still being grappled by Tom.
Oh, sure. He even got a bite in, so I feel like there might be another one coming.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of hate to do it, but that is really the most sensible thing for him to do, is to try to bite you.
Absolutely reasonable.
All right, he will bite. And you guys have it's advantage to hit either of you, but you both have disadvantage to attack because you're grappled, so it's normal. I'm assuming a 19 will hit.
Missed by one. No, absolutely.
You will take 8 points of piercing damage as the zombie chomps into you. Where do you want to be bit?
I feel like he's just gnawing away at the same shoulder. So where he bit before,
All
he's
right.
just back at it, keeps gnawing in, and Tom is just
So
getting
yeah,
bloody better.
this zombie reaches forward, bends down towards Tom's shoulder, chomps in. There is searing pain as she rips away some of your flesh. But I imagine you can't be at a lot of hit points left.
I would rather pretend that I'm a lot of hit points, but nope.
Johnny.
Yes. This might be a really short stream tonight.
We're just all dead.
Yeah. Don't be biting on Tom. Can I introduce the zombie to my wrench?
You can certainly try. It didn't work terribly well last time, but you can certainly try again.
Well, I think it's going to work as well as anything else I could possibly do. So
Fair enough.
I should have advantage on this.
All right. Well, then just roll twice and take the better.
18.
An 18 will hit the zombie.
Sweet. So to double check something real quick because I've got all these cool little vital strike. The villain, the target has if I've got advantage, then I do an extra 1d6 damage.
Well, you do in fact have advantage at the moment because
So I'm going to be doing my normal.
you also
damage.
have an ally who's within 5 feet of the target.
So yeah, so basically that vital strike is on top of whatever I'm about to roll. So
Yep.
So
if you want to roll a d6 and add it to your damage.
Yeah, so I did 9, so I got another d6 worth of damage coming to him. So that's 15 points of damage total.
All right.
I think that's pretty good for considering. Yay! Yeah, sorry.
It is very good considering. Where do you hit said zombie?
I would like to remove its jaw from its face so it stops biting my friend.
Okay. So you hit it with enough force that from experiences that you would rather not share in front of your sister, would shatter the jawbone of a person when hit with a wrench like that. It does definitely seem to have an effect as the zombie's jaw is knocked out of place. Doesn't quite shatter it, doesn't quite remove it. The zombie definitely took less damage from that than he should have. But it did do something. And the zombie howls in pain, snapping at you ineffectively. But you did do some damage to it.
Cool.
Judith.
Okay, Judith is making her way to the basement, seeing this terrible scene in front of her. Seeing how hurt Tom is, and she is going to fish something out of her pocket and say, "Just take this." And she's going to activate her ability, which is called "Just Take This."
Right.
And she will spend 1 point of genius. I'll make a mark for that. And then she is able to administer prescription grade combat drugs to yourself or an adjacent ally. So I will have to get adjacent to Tommy to do this.
You can get it to him this turn.
Okay. Then she will give him pain relievers. So Tommy can get 2d8 temporary hit points and advantage on Constitution saving throws. Just because I'm concerned he might have to make one to avoid a certain something in the near future. And that will last until he takes a long rest.
All right.
That affects me, including.
So,
Ow, ow, ow.
who wants to roll those 2d10 temporary hit? Her. All right. So, Tom, give yourself 8 temporary hit points.
That's more than my current. That is great.
I would argue the fact that it is more than your current, in fact, is not great. But
Yeah, I was kind of hoping for more, but I guess that's average.
yeah.
And then, yeah, again, you also have advantage on Constitution saving throws until long rest.
Sure, that won't come in to be relevant.
Who knows?
Bobby is going to lose his shit and just starts knifing this zombie and screaming and in terror. Why don't you just fucking die?
I'd rather not.
I don't think he means you.
And I guess that is at an advantage since the zombie's restrained.
Yep.
But goddamn, I am not rolling any better than the rest of y'all. So
Oh my god, we are awful. Oh my god.
Barbara.
Well, whew,
Hey, Barbara.
yeah.
Might I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
This is your morgue. You know where all sorts of chemicals are kept.
Yeah. Yeah, but if I splash chemicals all over him, wouldn't I get them all over Tom too?
I mean, maybe.
Syringe full of
Hey, look, Tom may
formaldehyde.
be dead already. Huh?
That's
Says
true.
a syringe full of formaldehyde. Embalming fluid.
Tom may be already dead.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Well, we're still in the, so I haven't even made it into, well, can I even get to the morgue?
Well, I mean,
I-
the soldiers were between you and the morgue, but they don't seem to be right now.
Isn't that where the rest
On
of the
the
zombies are?
other hand, what?
Isn't that where the rest of the zombies
What?
are?
Yeah, kind of.
I feel like you're trying to put me into a trap here.
There is, however, also a storeroom and a pharmacy.
Are those on the opposite side of me then?
Yeah.
Like, okay. I know you said that our little boxes don't necessarily mean exactly where they are, but okay.
Right.
So let's
Um,
say then Barbara having noticed that bludgeoning didn't do anything, stabbing didn't do anything, and shooting didn't do anything, she's going to just run into the storeroom and try and see whatever is the harshest chemical she can find in there.
all right. Would you give me a? It's going to be some sort of science check.
I have natural science.
You do natural science, sure.
Okay. Jesus. Oh my god, you've got to be kidding me. That would be
Yes,
a natural one.
water, the universal solvent.
Do you want to use your inspiration?
Yeah, I'm gonna use that because that really sucked. It's like the only
Okay.
thing that's like the second highest stat that I have. Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
There we go. How about a nat 20? The exact opposite of what I got before.
There
baby.
are, in fact, several incredibly high-powered cleaners in here that you think you could mix together to effectively turn into a fast-acting acid
Okay.
that could be poured or sprayed over someone. Or thrown.
I'm thinking sprayed. So I think I'm
Okay.
gonna use spray bottle. So just kind of like
Okay.
what you do with cats when they're coming on and they're doing something they're not supposed to, just like, no, no zombie, no, and just spritz it with some high
All
powered
right.
cleaner. Do you need me to roll anything to see if I can
Nope.
actually
It'll take you your turn, but you will be able to put together something. How much damage it does, you are not sure of yet, but you're pretty sure that it will eat away at flesh if it is put on exposed flesh. So.
Okay.
And this zombie's naked, so there's a lot of exposed flesh.
Yeah, it's like an old man too.
Yep.
Oh, lovely.
Tom, you got your hands full of zombie, and the zombie has his teeth full of your shoulder.
Yep, not happy with either of those statements, but both are true. I
And
still,
have super adrenaline drugs pumping through you thanks to your girlfriend.
I mean, my baby's the best, but
I got your back.
I'm not gonna let this thing get free. So we'll try and roll over and bounce this thing's head off the tiled floor. So,
Okay.
yeah. Nope. Okay.
I think Aaron did something to his character feeds.
Playing the game with a D12 is
I
rough.
did not.
Hard mode is just a thing.
Thought this was a D20 system, not a D4 system.
According to this roll, I got
Look.
9 successes.
Wrong. But hey, Aunt Puppy just rolled a natural 20, so clearly it's possible.
So's a 1, according to Aunt Puppy.
Those are my only choices. I either fail spectacularly or I win spectacularly. There's no in between.
I live for the drama. It's great. So yeah, I'll just hold on. We're not going to let this thing loose to hurt somebody else.
An unarmed strike is a light weapon, so you can go ahead and attack again with the offhand.
Oh yeah, sure. I don't think it would actually hurt him. I don't think it can do enough, but let's find out. Haboom. No, see, there's that one. I found it.
Wow.
They're doing great, guys. Great.
Is this winning? Ow, ow.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Really wish I rolled higher for that temporary HP now.
Right. Oh, you know what? I just realized you don't need to roll to attack.
Yeah.
Tom, you have the submission move.
Yeah, but if I want to do power attack, which I think is the only thing it's going to do enough to actually hurt it, I have to roll.
Ah, okay. Well then, yeah. Sorry.
No, you're good. Absolutely fair.
Okay. The Sarge is going to try to use his knife to pry the zombie's teeth out of your shoulder. Hey, the Sarge actually did something.
Rude.
That's a 19 to hit. He will cut into the zombie, and again, actually seems to be able to tear away some flesh by using a bladed weapon. Ben, on the other hand, has heard all of you doing all of this and is going to come down to try to help as well. However, since he's just now getting here, he has not yet had the opportunity to see anything about
what does and doesn't
what
work.
works and what doesn't. So he is going to open up with the assault carbine on the zombie. And fires a shell right into the zombie's center of mass to absolutely no effect. At which point he says, "They don't die when you shoot them."
Already dead.
Seems pretty animated to me.
All right. Not a lot else that he can do right now. So we're up to the zombie again. Doesn't the zombie have the ability to try to break free of the grapple?
Sure can. Just athletics check.
Okay. He will attempt to break free of the grapple.
I swear to God, if you roll really well, then you definitely messed with the character sheets.
Hey, Ben just that's not. That was you.
Oh,
I
yeah, he
rolled
just
it.
needs to.
Just didn't. Why are you not rolling?
Spite, anger, hunger, any of these things.
The zombie being dead.
It's true, the bullet did more damage than you think. Severed its spinal cord. It lost motor control.
Apparently, it lost the character sheet.
That's a hell of a shot if you're blowing away the character sheet.
Right?
Give me some of the meta bullets. That's amazing.
There it goes. And that is an 11. So he will not break the grapple.
Hate that for me.
Oh, I now see what was wrong with the character sheet, but the pop-up where it was asking me to whether or not I should roll with advantage or not was on a different screen, so I didn't see it.
Yep.
Is that actually his standard? Trying to break the grapple, or is that a bonus action?
I believe it's a standard action to try and break free.
It sounds like it would be. All right. Well, in that case, the zombie will not. Yeah, the zombie will not do much else this turn. Yeah, it can take an action to attempt to escape. Yep. Well, boo. Johnny.
So I have a weird idea.
Okay. I like weird ideas.
So Tom is currently grappling with the zombie and pretty much has the zombie under some semblance of control-ish.
Mm-hmm.
I have a big ass roll of duct tape.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to turn the zombie into a mummy. So that it can't move, like basically mummify the zombie's arms and mouth and stuff, so it can't bite. And like, if I can't make it stop, if I can't make it die, I can make it stop moving.
Okay, I like it.
I'm just not sure how this would work.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to do. I think the way I would like to do it would be allow you to what's going to be your best,
like
or your most appropriate ability,
like an unarmed attack or something, and then because he's still going to try to resist, so I guess it would stuff that kind of hit it.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, an unarmed. Well, I was going to do it as a contested roll was what I was going to do. Okay. So how about you make a dexterity save against his dexterity save?
Okay.
And if you succeed, the first success will basically give him the grappled condition without Tom needing to continue to grapple him. And if you can get a second success out of do it for a second turn, you can actually make him completely immobilized.
Okay.
Work for you?
Now, do I get any kind of bonus because Thomas currently got him grabbed, or no?
You are at it. You have advantage on this roll.
Okay. And I'm not trying to mitigate. I'm just trying to. I haven't had a lot of experience playing it, so.
Neither do I. So we're kind of all figuring it out together, which is why, like I said, I think a dexterity save, which you're much better at that than the zombie, is probably the fairest way to handle this, since it's a weird ability.
It just also kind of felt on brand.
Very. Okay, you succeed with the zombie.
I got a 22. So
And my zombie got a 16. So the zombie is effectively grappled without Tom needing to continue to grapple him. Which does mean, Tom, you can let go and you will no longer have the grappled condition, but the zombie still does. Do you want to describe this to me, Jonesy?
Yeah, so I like Tom's over there, and all of a sudden you hear this. You see that rip sound, that grip, that like of the giant, heavy duty industrial grade duct tape, and I just kind of get this slightly crazed look on my face as I ran up and I start around the neck and kind of wrap around his head and kind of start working my way down his arms and torso. I'm guessing that Tom's not like kind of pulling his arms away as I'm getting close to his arms, so he doesn't get caught up in the duct tape too.
All right. I love it.
I'll use a whole roll in this
Judy.
sucker.
Yeah.
Okay. Shooting them seemed like, I mean, well, Judy wasn't down here. No, but she would have seen Ben attempt to shoot the zombie.
You would have seen Ben just come down here and shoot it.
Ooh. She has a lot of out of combat stuff. Is there anything I can do with medicine to help patch up or heal Tom? Or would I need like some sort of specific equipment for that?
Well, you do have... No, field surgery doesn't let you do it. I don't think there's a lot you can do in combat other than the...
I have
you're just taking this. You might be able... what does Adrenaline Burst do?
That is something I could do as a reaction when an ally drops to 0 hit points. Which, I mean, may become relevant in a moment, but...
It may. Yeah, there's not I mean, you can definitely give him medical attention during a short rest to help heal him back up.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know that there's a whole lot you're going to be able to do in combat to try to patch him up.
Could I assist with the mummifying of the zombie?
Sure, I'll allow that. I'll let you go ahead and make your own dexterity saving throw against the zombie's dexterity saving throw. The zombie has double disadvantage, which doesn't really work, but I guess that would translate into giving you advantage on the roll.
I'll take it. Let's see if I can be helpful at least. Okay, I believe that would be a success then.
You're 17 compared to my 4?
Yeah.
Yes.
Woohoo!
Trust a nurse and how to restrain a patient.
the zombie is now immobilized. Good job, Judy.
So Judy will say to Johnny, "Good thinking."
It just wouldn't stop moving.
Yeah, I had to do the same thing
Bobby's
to a
going to
patient
hop
before.
onto the corpse and just start stabbing it. Why don't you fucking die?
Judy's just gonna slowly just move closer to Tommy.
Just gonna scooch over here. Like,
We cast
so
Valium on
stab into
Benny.
Huh?
Who we cast Valium on Ben?
Bobby,
Bobby.
the soldier who is going to.
Yes.
Barbara, you can come back and see that the zombie is all tied up. What do you want to do, if anything?
so she's gonna come back with like,
out of pocket.
yeah. So she's gonna come back out with like, just like bottles of chemicals, like in spray bottles, like looped onto every part around her pants, and 2 in her hand.
Okay.
And she's gonna come out like with a fury, like, yes, this will work. And then she'll look and see that the zombie is covered in duct tape and is completely immobilized, and is like, shit. But she will try to see if it will do anything.
Okay.
As kind of
Bounce
like
me a
fuck you kind of thing for biting her or scratching her. She's
yeah. Bounce me a D10.
just a straight D10.
Straight D10.
Okay. So
Actually,
you
2D10.
do, slash roll 2. I think that's how you do it.
Yep.
12.
Better than average.
How much?
12.
12, you say?
Oh no.
All right. The zombie is overexposed.
Literally and figuratively.
Let me pull up our lovely little rules about what happens when you hurt a zombie, or reduce a zombie to 0 hit points, more precisely, because you have. Okay. A 0 hit point trioxin zombie is now considered overexposed instead of being destroyed, meaning its nature can change depending on the type of damage that took it to 0 hit points. In this case, you have turned the zombie into what is known as a bleached boner.
Giggity.
Because basically it is now an animated skeleton with eyes and a brain and, the flesh eaten away by acid. So the zombie howls and screams as the acid eats into its flesh. Brains.
Well, I don't like that.
The zombie is just screaming and howling in pain, but it's still wrapped up in duct tape, so can't do a whole lot about it.
So yeah, that's.
Can't we shut this thing up?
Maybe with more of the duct tape?
Tom's gonna push himself up off the ground, still half bloodied on one side from the bites. Go into the fire stairs and see if he can retrieve a fire axe and deal with this thing the right way if necessary.
Sure.
Yep, so if he finds one, he'll pull that out, walk back in there, and it's not going anywhere. We'll aim right down the middle and see if we can make this thing stop screaming.
Okay. If you just hack away at it with the axe, you can just smash it down to nothing, and it will eventually shut up.
So
That seems appropriate. Just lean over, breathing heavy.
Judy is just wide-eyed because I don't think she's ever seen Tommy do anything like that at all.
so we go back upstairs and regroup.
The sergeant is then going to look at Bobby and be like, yeah, there are at least 3 more of them on the other side of that door. We're not opening that door for no one. Yeah, you guys can go back upstairs and regroup. When you do so, as you are coming up the stairs, the colonel is coming down the stairs. And he is going to kind of raise his voice to get everyone's attention. And he will say, all right, the army has been apprised of the situation. No one is to make any attempt to leave this hospital, and an evacuation helicopter is on its way. The army has a plan to contain the situation. Everyone just needs to sit tight.
One helicopter, that's not going to be enough for all the patients here. If we can get some of the vehicles running.
Who you said the lieutenant is who said this to us?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I think I said colonel, but
No, it's fine. I just wanted
Yes, the
that's what I thought you said lieutenant, but I wanted to make sure that that's who was still speaking and not like he gathered us over and then someone else was speaking.
no, sorry. It is still the same lieutenant.
The guy none of us trust.
The guy none of you trust.
Okay.
Then I guess Judy's actual question would be, who exactly is getting on this helicopter?
That is a wonderful question. Let me check something real fast.
You know, I'm thinking, who's getting on these helicopters and how big is this helicopter?
Allow the GM to do a quick consult.
So, in the meantime, standard guns and stuff don't seem to really have any effect on these zombies. Whatever Barbara cooked up seems to have an effect. Are there any drugs or anything that we could use against them, like muscle relaxants and I don't know, anything that can cause them to not be able to actually move?
I just need a bit of time and I can figure something out. We've got all sorts of chemicals and equipment here, so I'm sure I can think of something.
Tom will kind of sit back in a chair and lean his head back a bit. Yeah, punching these things didn't seem to work. The knife did a little bit of damage. The axe, can lift it up with his good hand, seemed to do something.
How's your shoulder?
Hurts really, really bad. I guess, are you okay? And grinning, he's still bloody, but just looks over to Barbara to make sure she's all right.
Yeah, I just seem to have a couple of slash marks. I'm a little concerned about it. But you got the worst end of it. Thanks for the rescue. Why did I sound like that? Thanks for the rescue. I'm like Barbara Barbie. Barbara will look at Judy and be like, do you think there's something that we could maybe treat his wounds? Because I have medicine +4. I don't know if we can do teamwork to help recover him better.
So, if you take a short rest, an hour basically, during that hour, Tom can spend one or more. I guess you're only first level, so or are you second level?
I think we're second level, aren't we?
Level 2.
Yep.
Level 2, yeah.
Level 2. Okay, so you could spend 1 or 2 of your hit dice to recover hit points. In addition, someone can perform medical treatment on him.
Is there no, in this sort of environment, there's no sort of like teamwork bonus if both the people with some sort of medical training can help?
There is. Let me check real fast.
What normally
yeah,
whoever
so
has
medical care during rest. Go ahead.
I think normally if you work together on that, you're helping. So whoever has the better bonus gets to roll with advantage.
That's what I was trying. I was like trying to find something that said like teamwork or like gave any sort of like that felt something similar to teamwork, and I was like, I don't really see anything.
Oh yeah, in medical care during rest, an assistant can help the character using the first aid kit or medical supplies, providing advantage on the check.
And if the person doing the medical check succeeds at a DC 10 check, any characters who are being cared for can gain a reroll for each hit die they spend to restore hit points. So
that was a lot of rules.
Gonna turn my 1s into 2s, baby. Woohoo!
So Tom, would you like to roll 1 or more of your
Oh yeah, I feel like both of them will probably be needed, but number 1, Haboom.
Well, you can do them one at a time. You don't have to do both of them until you see how you do on both of them. But
no dice available. Oh wait, I'll try this. I bet.
No dice.
There it goes. Haboom. Ooh.
Now, do one of the two of us need to roll our medicine check before he rolled that?
yes, if he wants the reroll. So
Judy, what is your bonus to medicine?
+7.
Oh, okay, you're much better at. I guess I am better at healing. Just sewing up dead things that don't wiggle once they're hurt.
Yeah.
I know where to put
you're the
organ
mortician.
section.
She's the head of nursing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd be able to help, but I would kind of hand you the bandages, and like anytime you asked for something, I'd be the one that was kind of running around and knew exactly what to get for you.
But while they're trying to put Tom back together, I would like to go down to my workshop and try to basically cobble together some Molotov cocktails.
That is absolutely something that you can do.
Because fire does ag to everything.
Sure does.
I don't care what game system, what role universe we're in.
Fireball always works.
All right. So, getting back to the question that had been asked, which took me far too long to find the answer to. The lieutenant would say that the helicopter should have room for 30.
It's a big helicopter.
It's more than enough for all the patients.
Yeah.
But
Ooh, really?
I don't know if that's enough for every single person. Because there were like 9, 8, 17, 23, 22 patients.
Something like that. I say there are over a dozen soldiers, and then there's also the other nurses.
Okay, so still gonna be some difficult choices, but
and if you say that, then the lieutenant is going to flat out say, that the patients who cannot be moved without extensive medical treatment
We'll have to be left behind.
will have to be left behind.
And I think from G's expression, it's clear that she arrived at that point as well. She figured that out. She just didn't want to say it.
She didn't want to be the one to say it out loud.
While you guys are patching yourselves up and whatnot, Harold Cooper is going to probably find, probably Barbara.
Who's coming to find Barb?
Harold Cooper.
Oh, okay.
And he's going to just kind of pull you aside somewhere a little close, a little quiet. And he's gonna say that listen, I don't believe Glover. I don't believe Glover about the Army's plans. I think that there's going to be enough room on that helicopter for him and his soldiers, and that they plan to just blow up the hospital and everyone here. We're all expendable. He just doesn't want any of this to get out.
Yeah, because if people start panicking, I was kind of thinking the same thing. If people start panicking, then they're going to start rushing the helicopter, which would make it leave with even less people. It's going to look like the Titanic.
Exactly. Yep. No, I think he, I think our best bet is to not wait for the Army helicopter. However, I've reached out to my superiors. There is an evac copter that can at least get us out of here. It isn't going to come here. We have to get away from the hospital. Down the road to Beekman's Diner. If we can get some of that trioxin, get some of the notes, and take it with us, we can expose everything that the Army's doing.
And they brought most of the documents into the director's office room, right?
Yep.
With just like a regular ass doctor, right? No military people in there?
I mean, there are probably soldiers in there, but
I'm just thinking like Barbara in her head is just like, I think I could take that doctor if I could help take a zombie.
if you and your friends are willing, like I said, we can go down there, commandeer one of those vehicles, and get to the diner where, like I said, the CIA's got a copter waiting for me.
Yeah,
Bonus,
definitely.
Barbara, is that you would realize that they had been loading notes and trioxin into some of those army vehicles down by the loading dock.
Oh yeah, because I was down there when they were doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
How much do I trust him to tell him that?
I don't know.
I'll tell him. Okay, so I don't.
We've got an hour until we've got an hour before the chopper is supposed to be there, so you've got some time to think about it, but not a lot.
So she will tell him that I saw them loading some of the toxin into one of those army vehicles down there. She won't tell him that she saw them loading notes and stuff like that too. She's just going to say the toxin for now.
Okay.
Until she can determine if she trusts him or not. But I definitely think that we need to get out of here, and they are not going to take us with them. I don't even think they're going to take the patients with them. So we need to prioritize getting patients up to as close to the helicarrier as possible to be able to push their way in there. Obviously not the patients that, you know, equipment has to come with them.
Can't move under their own power.
Yeah. I mean, these are soldiers too.
Some of them, yeah.
In their whole thing, never leave a man behind.
Except there always is someone behind.
Right. Well, the good news is you already have where you have evac'd the patients to is up on the 3rd floor.
Okay.
So.
We also just got a subscribe on Twitch from Paradox PhD.
Woo-hoo. Thanks.
Thank you.
Paradox, who would you like to give inspiration to? Because boy, howdy, are they going to need it.
Yeah.
All right, so you want to go talk to the rest of the crew about Cooper's plan?
Yeah, so she'll first is Johnny, did you come back up yet, or are you still down in your room?
Doesn't take a real long time to put together Molotovs.
I'm just thinking that would be the first person she would tell.
I have plenty of empty beer bottles around to make them, so yeah.
You have plenty of ability. So yeah, so she will walk over to Johnny and just kind of pull him aside and kind of explain what the plan is and what we think is happening.
That's totally what's happening. We're totally being set up to be,
Yeah.
kill it from nuke it from orbit. It's the only way to be sure.
Yeah. I mean, there would be no reason that we would every person in here would tell the tale as far as they could tell it. Yeah, there's no way they're going to take any of us with them. And so then she'll go through and explain that if we can get to this diner, the CIA guy said that he can get us out of here, but can't take everybody, just kind of our group. If we can get out of here, I don't know how much, I mean, I don't really want to leave all these people behind, but I don't know how much of an option we have.
At this point, it's every man, woman, and child for themselves.
Yeah, and I don't think Judy's going to want to leave them all behind, and Tom's not going to go if Judy's not going to go.
Simple. Just don't tell them. I'm just going to tell them that we're going, that we need to go, and that,
Are we planning to just leave them behind?
No, we can take them with us. We just won't tell. We just won't tell them that we're, that the patients are going to get out.
that they are, they aren't. So we're not going to tell them that we don't think the patients are going to get out. We're just going to say we don't think we're going to get out.
We are witnesses. The
Yeah.
patients aren't. We are witnesses. They're not going to let us leave.
They're not going to let us leave. Okay. That's what I was thinking too. Just tell them that they're not going to let us leave, but they'll get the patients out, and then hopefully we can get everybody out, our group out. I think that's a good plan. I do have a pretty high persuasion, so hopefully I can convince
So-
We'll see.
So I'm going to try to find Tom. I'd like
Okay.
to corner Tom away from Judy.
I'm sure at some point, yeah, he's exceedingly thankful to Judith for patching him up so well, and when she has to go check on the other patients, he'll nod, and I'm sure you can find time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, and then Barbara will go when Judy walks away from Tom. She'll go over and be like, "Hey, can you help me with my wound?" Trying to kind of pull her away so that she can quietly tell her what's going on.
So
Hey,
Tom, yeah,
how's your sister?
she's holding up way better than I expected. So good for her.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I'm gonna need your help on something, though, Tom.
Oh, yeah. What can I help you with?
The government's not gonna let us leave. We've seen too much. We know too much. They're not gonna let us go. This is bigger than Watergate. This is bigger than all the crap going on down over in Vietnam. Like they're not gonna let us live. We need to get out of here on our own now. And I need your help getting Judas to come with us. Because if any of the four of us stay behind, we're not going to leave. We're not going to be leaving this hospital under our own 2 feet.
Yeah, you're probably right. I don't. She's probably not going to want to go, but
The patients haven't seen what's going on. They know something's going on, but they haven't seen it. They haven't witnessed it. They don't know about the experiments, the chemicals, the shady government bullshit that's going on downstairs. We do.
so if you can get me to one of those cars, I can get us out of here. I'm a pretty good driver. Maybe I can seal up the hospital a little bit so that they think we're we're protecting everyone, but we're really just buying some time. Maybe give them a chance.
Yeah. I just don't think Judas is going to want to go with us unless you help us persuade her, because I mean, and I understand, but we're dead. We just we're just breathing still. But as far as the army is concerned, we are a loose end that needs to be tied up.
Okay. Um, I mean, I've got a welder downstairs. I can maybe seal up the fire doors and leave just one path. And if we get the soldiers on the other side, then that may buy us some time to get out while they're defending the way in.
Good work.
And we just have to make it to the motor pool and get one of the cars. But it's okay. I can get Judith out if we have to. If I can't talk her into it. And he'll kind of push himself up. Still a little tender, but moving a lot better. Painkillers were nice. So he will make his way down towards the basement, see if we can get a hold of the welder. And if the lieutenant starts asking, tell me we're restricting the ways that they can get in by sealing up some of the doors, and what would be a terrible OSHA violation nowadays, but back then, safety. Uh, so try and restrict it so that there's one open pathway for the soldiers, and hopefully get the soldiers on the other side of it, so they're a little further back.
So when you head down to the basement, one thing that you will quickly see is that there were 3 soldiers, 2 soldiers and a sergeant who were kind of guarding the doors to the morgue. They have now looped heavy chains over the doors to the morgue, and nobody is down in the basement, although you can still hear pounding coming from the inside the morgue.
Are those metal fire doors?
To the morgue itself?
Yes.
Yes, they are reinforced metal doors.
You could weld those shut too.
Sure could.
Yep, yes, that. Well, finding no one there, are you coming with me for the excursion to grab the welder?
Yes.
I mean, when we get out, if there's no one here, do you let's check the motor pool and start heading that direction first to see if the vehicles are kind of left unattended.
Okay. So looking out the into basically the loading bay where the motor pool is, there are 2 ambulances, 2 Jeeps, and 1 Humvee.
Humvee's probably the most armored, so open it up and flip down the visor, wait for the keys to fall into my hand in that very convenient way that they really aren't going to do, but darn it, I can hope. But see if the keys are in
In
it.
fact,
It's the 60s. Of
yes,
course they do.
are. Even more interestingly, you will notice that in part of the Humvee, there is oh, that's weird. Something got all borked up with the character sheet for the Humvee. In addition to, yes, the keys are in it, there are also several canisters of the trioxin chemical. So, make of that what you will. But yeah, you can get the Humvee.
I can give a weary look to the chemicals, but hold the keys and go, well, we can take it, but the moment those doors open, they're going to come in.
What we can do is when we get the other 2 down here, we can seal the doors into the motor bay, the bay.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we open the outside door, at least then they can't just rush into the hospital.
Yeah, maybe. I'll get on sealing or welding the doors to the morgue, and then we can get the other 2 and get them down here, and that should give us enough time to weld those doors shut, and then make a break for it. So he'll grab his welder, wheel it over, you put on the heavy gloves and the mask, and do some tack welding on the door to the morgue to seal it up. And that'll take a little bit of time, and then after that, we'll go to check on Barbara and Judith
Okay. And Ben.
and Ben. I don't know. I mean, Ben did pull a gun on me and Judith, but I guess okay.
I mean,
He's
true.
also been
He
helpful
did.
since then.
And while Tom's doing that, I'm gonna look to see if I can find like like an old like a linen dolly or something like that, and so I'm gonna start trying to quietly stock it with supplies.
Okay.
So oh, it's a first aid kit. Boom.
Sure.
We won't need one of those or anything.
We'll just go plop that right there and just do a little shopping, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Vicodin, Valium, all of it. Um,
So
Okay.
Barbara
Yeah.
will be trying to convince Judy. So she'll kind of have scooted Judy off to kind of on her own near like a different, like a nurse's cart or something away from kind of the patients, and we'll be just like, okay, I don't think they're gonna let us out because of what we've seen. We need to get out of here as a group.
You're probably onto something, especially with how
I
this
mean,
is going.
Yeah, the patients haven't seen anything, so they're fine. But we've seen a lot, and I don't think they're going to want us telling anyone about it. I mean, how exactly else am I going to explain human epithelials in this giant gaping wound?
Well, I mean, what's the plan then? It's not like we have a second helicopter.
So, CIA guy and Johnny are going to try and commandeer, with Tom's help, one of the Humvees from the loading dock because the CIA guy said that we can get a helicopter.
Oh,
He's got a helicopter coming that can take us, but he can only take us. There's only enough space for a handful of people, and we're who he's chosen to take. We just got to get to the diner across from the hospital. If we can make it there safely, we can skedaddle, but I don't think they're going to take us with them. I think they're going to bomb the hospital as soon as they get everybody that they want out.
and Judith is just thinking it over a couple of paces back and forth.
Do I need to use my I don't want to use my persuasion roll because I'm going to roll a 1 and it's going to be fucking useless.
I mean, if we're rolling against each other, I mean, Roll20's being mean to everybody.
That is true. That is true. So
hates
Barbara will.
all of us equally.
Yeah, no doubt. All of the heroes, though. The zombie has been fine. He has been perfectly fine. So I will see Judy pacing back and forth, kind of, mulling it over as she like wraps one part of the wound and then kind of like mulls about, and will continue to keep trying to convince her with a 20.
I'll roll with this. Yeah. Let's see what the dice decide.
She's not trying to deceive her. She's just trying to persuade her to come with us by omitting part of the truth.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what Judy would roll in this situation. Maybe insight?
Wisdom save.
Ooh. The dice have spoken. So Judy, she is like very obviously conflicted about this, but and it takes her probably longer than it should, but she will say, if the patients and the other staff can get out on the military helicopter, then I'm sure they won't mind having a few extra seats. Are you sure you can trust this CIA guy?
I mean,
Fuck no.
No, but I certainly don't trust the other guys anymore. And even if we can get out to the diner and the gas station over there, if we can at least get out of the hospital and out of the area, we have the potential that even if there isn't anything there, we can still get away.
Well, I'm sure Tommy can get the vehicle working. It's just going to be getting out without getting noticed. That'll be the problem. And making sure we seal the way back in so nothing can go in after we leave.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do it. But I just want to make sure that we think of everything before we leave.
Barbara really wants to say something terrible.
Hmm?
Because in my head, I'm thinking we know that they're not going to take the patients that can't go on their own. Like maybe
I
instead
think
of
no,
letting
that was already. Nah, yeah, I think Judy already realized that before because we already mentioned that before.
No, I know, but is she committing to allowing them to potentially turn into zombies, or is she going to allow them to fall asleep and not wake up?
Oh, that hasn't been brought up.
Because I'm thinking if they just peacefully fall asleep, would be much better than being unable to escape a horde of zombies coming and eating them.
My angel of the night.
Johnny, I'm so happy I'm down here avoiding this moral dilemma with you.
Glad we don't have a humanity stat in this game.
The humanitarian thing to do. Because could you imagine being conscious and not being able to do anything, and you just have to allow yourself to be eaten?
The best part is I don't have to imagine it. You're doing it. I'm down here with a welder.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Oh man,
Right,
I have not figured out Judy enough to know what she would respond to this dilemma with.
Yeah, she would have kind of obviously said it much nicer, just being like, wouldn't it be better if the patients we knew they weren't going to take could just fall asleep? And then she will be the one that finishes wrapping herself because she's assuming Judy has now walked away from
her. Judy, with the conversations that have been had so far, and knowing that the patients who are unable to take this first or the larger helicopter, which she assumes is going to take them, are going to be left behind. Even if someone else comes to rescue them, it's going to take too much time. Damn. She will return to Barbara after some time and say, I don't want to admit it, but you have a good point. But I'll be the one to take care of it.
And you can always wait till the last minute to allow it, to make sure that, to try and push to let them take them with them. That's fine, but I think that's the nicest thing we can do for them.
I really don't think the lieutenant's going to go for it. But I will try. If nothing else, I'll try to see if he can get another helicopter in.
Okay. Barbara will just kind of give her a thumbs up, like, okay. You try that.
So does that make this hospital basically country time buffet but for zombies?
Oh no.
I mean, kind of, yeah.
I guess, and the thinking too is we don't really know. We know that they turn after they're dead, but they have to have the toxin. We haven't really seen them bite and somebody turn, right?
We have not.
Okay, I didn't think so. I was like, I think most of it has just been we've seen the toxin turn them. So the assumption at least that Barbara is making is that that's what turns them, not the
But,
biting or
but
any of that.
we do know that the toxin will turn the living and reanimate the dead.
Correct. Yes. Yeah. The hope is just that, the biting and the scratching is not what turns people. It's just the toxin that turns people. At least that's what Barbara has convinced herself of.
I'm sure you're right.
Yeah, with the available information.
So, I think we have a plan. I don't know if it's a good plan, but we have a plan. I think Ben will most likely, for the sake of I don't want to have to try to control his character, will decide to stay with the other soldiers and do his best to make sure that the as many of the patients as possible are loaded onto the helicopters. So it will be the four of you and Cooper who will attempt to make your way to the diner, sneak off to the diner before the helicopter arrives and the soldiers try to leave you behind and or kill you.
Who knows?
Why don't we go take our break while I get that set up?
Woohoo!
And yeah.
Okay.
Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for sticking with us through our break. We are still the Untold Stories Project. This is still our playthrough of Typical Army Fuck Up, a scenario for the return of the Living Dead cinematic adventure for Everyday Heroes from Evil Genius Games. We have a special sneak preview opportunity here. The game will actually be launched on Kickstarter on June 3rd. So if you're enjoying watching what we're doing, then, look for that Kickstarter. When we left our heroes, they had decided that the evacuation helicopter that was coming to the hospital to save everyone from the onrushing zombie horde was most likely not going to save them because they were witnesses and therefore expendable. And so they have thrown in with Harry Cooper, who is a CIA agent who does not trust the military either, and has said, look, I have my own chopper coming to a diner down the way. If we can get some of the chemical, get some of the papers to show what they're doing, we can take off, get away from here, expose them. And our heroes have decided to throw their lot in with Agent Cooper. So when we left off, they basically had made all of their plan. They had done their best to be able to weld doors behind them to make it hard for anyone to chase them, and had decided to abscond with a Humvee. To their pleasant surprise, they discovered that the Humvee had already had several canisters of the trioxin loaded in it. Were you guys going to try to do anything about getting any of the papers or documentation?
Where is that at?
Up with us.
That would be up in the records room. Or in the director's office.
Yeah, I would say that while they were talking, Barbara would have talked to was the CIA guy and kind of made a plan that he would kind of try and get them, since they might be less likely to stop him than just rando mortician walking into the director's office, and kind of that being his job.
Okay. So eventually he will come down and meet you guys down in the basement by the loading doors and say, I've got the best I'm going to be able to find. Let's get out of here. We've got not a lot of time before the chopper's supposed to meet us at the diner. Let's hope that we don't run into anything on the road while we're heading that way. By the by, you guys will also notice that your Humvee does have a vehicle-mounted machine gun. So,
only one of us is. If any of us were actually military people, that would be awesome.
Judith is actually proficient with military weapons.
Not very, but yes.
That's my girl.
I'm advanced, I think, in military.
Yeah.
I think is how I read that.
If the military dot is filled in, you are proficient.
Okay, so the advanced thing is filled out with a little arrow down to military, but the military one is not filled in.
Yeah, that would be the next level down. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, I do have that filled in.
Yeah, by getting advanced, you've unlocked military, but you haven't bought it yet.
Okay.
Yep. I think Ben and Judith were the two who have military proficiency. But hey, you got Judith, so you could use that machine gun, but I'm sure you won't need to.
Nope, we're gonna be perfectly fine.
All right.
I guess the question would be kind of lean close to the doors and listen to see if they're right outside the doors, or maybe we could open them before.
What will
I mean, you don't see anything in the direct area by the motor pool. because you've already been able to, you know, look in the Humvee. So
I think Tom was referring to the space once we open the garage doors out of the motor pool.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
you hear moans and yells and screams, but they seem to be near, you know, around the ground level of the building where there are windows where the zombies could try to break in. You also still hear gunfire from the soldiers inside the building, although that is becoming less and less frequent. You don't see anything immediately outside the motor pool.
well, we'll get everyone loaded, Tom. And
Yeah.
then I will go and take care of opening the gate. And then I
Okay.
will beeline it for the basically I'm gonna take shotgun position in the Humvee. And that way I can just beeline it straight to the passenger seat and jump in. Because my hope is that if there's any kind of clicky clacky unlocky sounds, I can stealthily do that as quietly as possible to not draw attention until the last possible second.
Sounds good.
I'll wait to start it up until the door's tall enough that I can get past it, just in case it's a very loud Humvee it starts up.
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm picturing like the metal roll-up doors. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but that's kind of what I'm picturing in my head.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So, do.
All right. So as you hop forward and start the Humvee, you know, there's nothing, you know, obviously there's it's dark. There are not a lot of lights available out here. You move forward.
Yeah, with the door up enough, we'll start the Humvee and move it up to the door to pick up Johnny.
Okay.
And yeah, once we've got
drive
him,
forward.
Yep.
Cooper says, "All right, follow that road to the south."
Don't floor it. Won't even turn on the lights, provided I can still see semi well. Until we absolutely have to, so we're not a beacon.
If you don't turn on the lights, you're going to have serious issues with following the road.
Yeah, so if we don't have street lights or anything, then yep, flip them on a go.
All right. So you you start your way down, not flooring it, but you know, moving at a reasonable speed, and you get maybe a quarter mile away from the hospital when you hear and see headlights from a Jeep, squealing tires headed your way, and can hear the screams of the people on the Jeep as they yell, "Brains!"
Oh.
Cool.
Right.
So, we are going to have us a little chase scene.
Oh, cool.
So,
Great.
let me explain how chases work in Everyday Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
During a chase, action will be broken down into rounds during which every participant may take a turn. Chases usually have a time limit. Don't worry about how long that is. Each side in the chase will track their progress using chase points, which I will deal out probably to Deuce, since he is the driver. There is no surprise round in a chase, obviously. All participants are assumed to be on the move, and each round has a complication that the heroes have to deal with. After you deal with the complication, everyone can take a turn. Some complications will only require the driver to roll. Some complications may require everyone to roll. How well you deal with the complication will determine how many chase points you gain. Then, like I said, you can take your actions. The driver has an extra action above and beyond what is normally available as an action to turn, which is trying to gain ground. If you're trying to gain ground, I will give you a number of suggestions of things that you can do and a skill check that you can make. If you succeed, you gain additional chase points. If you lose, you potentially give the other team chase points. All of you can also, if you wish, take your action to brace, which will give you advantage on your check next turn. So it'll all make sense once we get going, hopefully.
That as things usually do for me.
Yep. So as you start forward and are trying to get away from the zombie jeep chasing you. Well, actually, I guess the first thing that we need to do is everyone needs to roll initiative.
I do have to.
There's my token. There's my token.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on a moment. Before you roll, I'm going to move you guys to a different page to make the chase easier. Which will also make seeing your tokens easier.
Cool. I got it. 2.
Oh,
And our dice rolls are keeping consistent, I see.
so
Yep.
I'll use my edge on the run for a reroll because a 4 ain't cutting it. To an 8. Cool. Rocking that D10 again.
I had rolled before we switched over. So
I will manually put that in. What was it?
13.
13?
Lucky number 13.
With the other initiatives here, I think it is lucky. It's the second highest.
Yeah, my initiative is -1. So right, guys, I'm so excited about this.
All right, so the first round of the chase, someone had set up a makeshift barrier across the road. Looks like maybe the police had set it up. Maybe. Before something happened. You will have to smash your way through it before you are able to get off of this little access road onto the freeway, which will give you a much straighter shot towards the diner. So the hazard, it will be done making a Constitution saving throw using the vehicle's bonus. So, Tom, you want to go ahead and roll that for us?
Well, absolutely. Watch, I'm done rolling D10s. I've got like this whole other side of a D20 I can use. No. Did not roll.
That did not roll.
So no attribute was found. Okay.
That's weird because I can make the zombies roll it. But
That 20. I told you there was no set of that die.
okay, so the DC of this check was a 13. So you have succeeded against this hazard
Let's dial.
by 5 or more. So you will gain a chase point.
Woohoo.
Yes.
And how many
Ta-da.
chases did you say we have to get?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
At the end of the chase, because chases usually have a time limit,
Oh,
whoever
okay.
has whichever side has the most has won the chase.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Okay.
Okay. And what?
That's duck and weave.
The zombies have managed to just make the save, so they do not gain any chase points, but they also nothing bad happens. So now we go into initiative. The driver is going to attempt to gain ground. He is going to try to blind you with his high beams. So he's going to make a check of dexterity vehicles against not the vehicles, but Tom's constitution.
Rude.
Stern but fair.
Although I believe Tom currently has advantage on constitution.
Sure does.
Because he's strung up. I mean, strung out. I mean,
Trucker pills.
He's doing great.
Ooh. I only got a 5 on my vehicles check.
I'll take the 14.
Sure will. So my driver zombie will fail to gain ground. Grr. Failing to gain ground does not give him a chase point. It does not make him lose a chase point. Oh, wait. Although, yeah, and it was not a difference of 5 or... No, it was a difference of 5 or more. So, Tom, you'll get another chase point because he was so busy trying to blind you with his high beams that he was not doing a great job driving. So,
Flip the little rear view mirror so it's there. Now your high beams don't count.
yep. The armed one of these zombies is going to... Well, I guess I have a question. Is anyone not manning the machine gun on your Humvee?
I mean, I guess it depends on like how do you get to, like, I don't know how a Humvee is set up to know like.
So you stand up is basically it.
Okay. So it's like on the roof.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The downside, of course, is then you are exposed. The good side is that you can, well, shoot.
I feel like we probably would have assumed the gun would be pretty noisy. I don't know if we would have had anyone on it right away.
Okay.
I wouldn't have gone there as a natural thing. So.
Yeah, I was gonna say if we're trying to get away first before we start trying to do anything, I would say that would be way too noisy.
All right. Well, then they will shoot at you.
It's fucking rude.
It will be made at disadvantage because they're moving. The defense of the vehicle is equal to 10 plus whichever is lower, either the vehicle's dex modifier or the driver's bonus to vehicles. So which is it going to be for you?
And you already updated stats.
Huh? Yep,
You
I've
were
already
up-
updated the vehicle stat.
Okay,
bonus.
it's going to be 12. The dex of the Humvee is 2.
Okay. Oh wait, maybe I didn't update it. I thought I had. because the base dex of a Humvee is 2. So I guess it should be 4 then.
Okay. Well, for what's worth, my vehicles is also a 4, and if it ups it to a 4, then 4 it is, so 14.
All right. So he will attempt to shoot the assault carbine at your tires. He will be attacking at disadvantage because, well, and that 4 will not hit the tires of your Humvee. No, it won't come anywhere close. So you do not have to worry about damage. Johnny,
Yes.
you're bouncing around in a car with or a Humvee with zombies chasing you. What do you want to do?
Is anyone in the gunner's position yet?
Of your Humvee? No, not
Yes.
yet.
So what I would like to do is pop up to the hatch and actually throw a Molotov cocktail at the chasing car.
That makes sense. All right. Well, then you will have to make an attack roll. You will be at disadvantage because, again, moving vehicle.
I don't really have a weapon on my sheet for this. Can I just? Will it be any? Do you know if it'd be similar-ish, close to, or?
So let's see. It would probably be your dex modifier and your proficiency bonus, because I believe you're proficient with improvised weapons.
Yes.
Okay. So yeah, your dex plus your proficiency modifier.
Okay, so yeah, so it's the same roll as my my pistol, so cool.
Okay.
I'm just gonna use that since that's you said I'm at disadvantage. And that's a 15 with disadvantage.
Jesus.
Not sure the damage
Well,
of the Molotov cocktail, but yeah.
Yeah, Molotov cocktails do 1d4 fire damage.
Oh, really?
To a radius of 10 feet. They will also so 2 fire damage. What is the penetration value of a Molotov cocktail?
I'm more interested in just really kind of just making it difficult, giving him, making him slow down, making him, that.
Yeah. Whatever. So the one who had leaned out of the Jeep to fire at you is exposed and is going to need to make a dexterity saving throw, or he's going to catch fire.
Yay! Zombie flambe.
But that smells awful.
I'm sure it does, but it's downwind, so yeah.
Oh, that is a 5. He is on fire. So my poor
unfortunate
armed zombie 2 or armed zombie 1 is the one who is firing, is going to, well, he's on fire.
Love that for him.
I don't.
Good for you, honey. Good for you.
And if it's doable, I'd like to use my bonus action to duck back into the Humvee.
Sure, why not?
Because I'm just like, oh nope. I don't want them returning the favor. That's just
Yep. All right. Judith.
I'm just really debating if Judith would hop on the gun at this point. Because I really like the idea of her using this thing that's like twice her size.
I say go for it.
Yeah, I mean, she's in a vehicle. There's not much else she can do, and she's probably the most qualified person here. So she will stand up, she will take the controls of the turret and spin it around and probably go for the tires. Because well, I mean, we haven't seen anything of this caliber, but
Oh, see what you did there.
yeah. But she will try to slow that vehicle down.
Okay. You will be firing at disadvantage because, well, you're aiming at the tires.
And it would be Dex Mod plus Proficiency.
Correct.
Okay. Well, it's not going to be a very impressive roll, but it certainly will have been rolled. I want this to work, and we're in the second half of the stream, so I'm going to use one of those inspiration points.
All right.
And let's try that again. Well, it's a good thing I'm the healer, and I can patch myself up later. I'm not gonna. Yeah, did not get any good rolls there. I got a 6 and a 3.
All right. So you spray bullets everywhere, but fail to hit the tires of the Jeep that is driving at you and flashing its headlights at you. Not surprising, really.
Yeah, under the circumstances of the vehicle shaking and the gun being like huge and difficult for her to control.
Yep. All right, Tom. If you would like to try to gain ground, the two suggestions that the that come with the encounter. If you would like to give me a different suggestion, we can negotiate it. You can try to distract them by saying, "Hey, there are some brains over there," which would be a charisma check against their wisdom saving throw. You can try to push them off the road, which would be your vehicle's check against their dexterity saving throw. Or if you have something else in mind, hit me.
I'm fine with it. Let's give him a little nudge, a little tush push, if you will.
All right.
So as they're screaming up behind us, we'll pull it a little bit hard to the left and yank it to the right and try and nudge him off the road.
All right. That'll be a vehicle's check against their dexterity saving throw.
Boom. Just a 12.
All right. And just a 9 for them. So that's enough to give you another chase point.
Hold on. Give him a good thump.
All right. Armed zombie number 2 is also going to attempt to shoot at you. Because, well, you're too far away for him to jump onto the car. He is not going to specifically shoot at the tires. He's just going to spray and pray. And it doesn't matter. Because that's a 7.
He didn't.
So, good. Yep. And finally, Barbara.
Yay. So all I've got on me are close-up weapons, except for the pistol, which I don't feel like I'm gonna be able to do much on.
I mean, you could shoot at the Jeep. You might be able to do something.
Yeah, I'm trying to think because I've got all those chemicals too, and I'm thinking how to use those to my advantage without blowing myself up. Huh. I think she'll just try and shoot out the tires. Actually, she's going
Okay.
to shoot at the hood of the car to try and hit the engine.
Okay.
Okay, so I get that.
Um,
How do you roll? Do you roll the gun any differently?
for your
For
own
the
gun? No.
Yeah, like the 9mm. Do I just? Yeah, I was just gonna shoot with the 9mm, not the big gun.
Well, you can't right now because Judith is up there.
Oh, okay. No, I'll just squeeze
So
in there with her and just be like, "Excuse me."
yeah, you can shoot your 9mm at there.
Yeah, I'll just kind of roll down the window because I'm assuming these are roll windows, and kind of stick my head out and try and hit the engine, or at least the hood of aiming for the hood of the car.
Okay.
And then do I just roll the 9mm and it'll give me all those things in there?
Should.
Okay. As long as I filled out the thing right.
Yep.
So
Which
attack
she did.
is a 14.
That is enough to hit.
Okay.
There shouldn't be a save. And penetration is 2.
Correct.
All right. Um,
So wait, so you said I
the
shouldn't have a
other value,
save?
there shouldn't be anything in the save, but don't worry about it.
Okay. I was like, there isn't a save anywhere on here, but maybe I
Yeah.
put something in the wrong place. Oh
Don't
yeah,
worry about it.
it says save type,
So
but there's nothing in there.
Yep. You shoot at the vehicle or at the Jeep.
Mhm.
It is not damaged. Apparently, the 9mm just doesn't have the penetrating power to do any damage to the bulk of the vehicle. You might be able to still shoot out the tires, but shooting at the engine just isn't going to do anything.
Okay.
So, good shot. All right, we are now on to the second round of combat, or of the chase, more precise, specifically. So you burst through the barrier. You're driving along the road. You are on one of those stretches of road where there's basically a like mountain on one side of you. And apparently the mix of the trioxin and the acid rain has turned the road into sludge, causing your vehicle to slip and slide as you make your escape. I will need a dexterity vehicles check from the driver.
Sure enough.
Which I guess in your case you have advantage on because you're all good at that.
This would be a 12.
Ooh, that's not good. This is not a hazard. This is a challenge. On a successful check, you gain a chase point. If it succeeds by 10 or more, you gain 2. On a failure, you muddle through, nothing happens. If it fails by 5 or more, they gain a chase point. You only failed by 1, so nothing bad happens. You just barely managed to keep the car on the road through the mudslide. Meanwhile, the zombies will attempt to do the same.
We find out that zombies are really NASCAR racers.
Robin is racing.
Same situation. They manage to not go off the road, but they don't gain any particular ground from the roadslide this particular turn. So that is it for the complication. Now we're back to initiative. The driver zombie is going to try to cut you off. which will be a comparison of vehicles checks between the two of you.
Just a 10.
Ah. Well, he doesn't gain any chase points. So he tries to swerve around you to cut you off, but you are able to keep ahead of him. Fine. I'll just shoot your tires again.
I'd rather you didn't.
Never mind. 4 will not hit your tires. Johnny. Oh, wait, I forgot. Armed zombie also takes damage from the fire.
Burn, baby, burn.
Oh, what a world. What a world.
All right. So Johnny, what do you want to do?
I would like to lean out of the. I'd like to roll in the window, lean out the window, and throw another Molotov cocktail in the general direction.
All right.
If I can find my character sheet. There it is. $13.
13 is exactly what. Well, actually, it's better than what you needed. You needed a 12. So
that was with disadvantage. So.
Yep. Is that the Molotov against a D4?
Yep. 3 points of damage.
However, there is a second zombie now who had leaned out to shoot. So let's see if he can make the dexterity save to not catch fire.
I appreciate what you're doing, Johnny, but it looks even more terrifying now.
Now being chased by Johnny Blaze.
So I'm just going to point out that where you had a zombie Jeep chasing you, you now have a Jeep on fire with zombies inside of it, 2 of whom are now flaming. I'm sure that's fine.
We'll be okay.
Yep, that's nightmare fuel. That's where it lives.
It'll be nightmare fuel once they hit the fuel line.
Or your sister throws a bottle of chemicals at them.
Judith, what do you want to do?
I'm sure there will be no additional problems once these particular types of zombies are lit on fire.
They should be easier to see now.
They are much easier to see now.
Just hit the flames.
Fair enough.
Burning down the house.
Yeah, let's just keep trying to slow down the vehicle, either hitting the engine or the tires.
Do you want to just shoot at the vehicle, or do you want to specifically try for the tires?
She has at this point seen like these. I think that she's probably like developed enough distance from these zombies that she's not like hesitating to shoot at people because they are very much not living people. So yeah,
no, they are not.
Let's especially when they're on fire and very scary, let's just shoot at the vehicle.
Okay.
Trauma.
In that case, don't make it at disadvantage. Just roll.
Okay. D20 plus Dex and Proficiency. For a total of 16.
That will do. Deuce, you should have access to the stats for the machine gun on your Humvee.
Yep, it is 2d8. So 2d8 plus Dex, probably.
Well, in this case, what really matters is what the penetration value is.
4.
4. That is a whole lot higher than the armor of the vehicle. So vehicles don't have hit points. They make a Constitution saving throw with a DC equal, half of the attack's damage. So yeah, go ahead and roll the damage, which would be 2d8 plus your dex plus or just your dex.
Okay. Well,
Calvin.
Dex is +0, so 2d8 for damage.
It also has full auto, loud, and restricted for whatever that may mean to you.
Oh, I'm sure it is extremely loud.
Oh, yeah.
It is very, very loud.
Yeah, so much for not getting noticed.
Down to freedom.
Ooh.
Oh Lord.
It's
No.
more than 0. 5 total for the 2d8.
All right. So they will make a roll just using the saving throw modifier of their vehicle. And if they can't beat a 13, then something bad happens. They do not. So, Calvin, would you bounce me a d6?
1d6. 1. Gotta squeeze a 1 in
Okay.
there somewhere, but it might be helpful.
It's 2 ones in a
A
row.
random piece of cargo is hit by the attack. If the vehicle has no cargo, there is no effect. In this case, I'm going to say that you hit one of the zombies. However, as we have already long since established, 5 points of ballistic damage does no damage to these zombies.
Although I do like that the zombies count as cargo.
I mean, it says if the vehicle has no cargo, there's no effect, so I'm letting them count as cargo because why not?
They're not living targets, so...
They're not the driver, too.
Yeah.
So.
Exactly.
So does that make us?
Tom. No. Because passengers is a different role.
Oh, okay. I was like, oh.
Well, our Humvee has all-terrain.
If you would like to gain ground,
Mhm.
The suggestion is ride the mudslide to pick up some speed, which would be a vehicles check against the chase DC of 13.
That is exactly what I was thinking, because our Humvee happens to have all-terrain, so seems
There
like
you
a
go.
plan. Into the mudslide. Blah.
All right.
17.
17. Not a success by more than 5, but it is a success, so you will gain another chase point.
I'm glad you're driving.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's almost like you were designed to drive this car.
Isn't it just? I don't know what you're talking about, but thanks.
Armed zombie number 2 doesn't particularly like being on fire. So he is going to not attack. He is going to attempt to put himself out of fire, which requires him to make a dexterity saving throw, which we've seen they're so good at.
I'm just going to say there's not a whole lot of room to drop and roll.
No, but you can pat yourself out, and so he manages to put himself out. He's still taking damage from the fire, but Barbara.
I'm going to take off the lid to one of my spray bottles of chemicals and I'm going to throw it at the zombie that's on fire, hoping to turn them into a bomb.
I love that for you. Go for it.
I'm assuming that would be like an unarmed strike. Or is throwing a thing on here?
Throwing is a thing, but I don't think you have that on your character sheet.
Looking to see, I have performance, and yeah,
If you can explain to me how performance is valid,
well, I don't
I'll
know.
listen.
I don't know what that. I'm assuming performance, like as in like I can perform my duties. I feel like that would
No,
be
no.
precision in.
You
I'm
got to
skilled.
go like a full token
I
soliloquy.
appreciate the creativity, but no. Um,
Okay.
Actually, hold on 1 second. I'm adding something to your character sheet.
Okay.
Just do like the whole soliloquy. Oh, Black Arrow, my father.
You've
Well, I
never
was thinking
failed me.
I'm like she's skilled with like small instruments and like different types of things. Like she'd be skilled in pinpoint accuracy is what I'm going to is what I was thinking performance wise. Like she can perform her duties, so therefore that's what I was going with. It's only a +3, so
Again,
it's not like it was a huge bonus.
Just nat 20 it. You're fine.
Well, we've
all
seen
right.
two
I have
20 in a
added the
row.
thrown improvised explosive to your character sheet, Barbara.
Okay. That's a +2, so it's pretty close.
Yeah.
So do I just same thing with the 9mm, just hit the roll button?
Yep.
Can I give myself some Oh, why haven't I Oh my god. Oh, I totally forgot about that the thing.
Inspiration?
Yes. Well, I have Oh shit, where is it?
Oh, do you have like a plan or trigger thing?
Yeah, I can motivate everybody.
We sure can.
Oh, but I can only well it says oh, I can motivate one ally that can hear me.
Yeah.
Let's see your charisma modifier. Okay. So is that would count as oh, it's a bonus. So I can throw my Molotov cocktail thingy and
Mhm.
after me as Johnny, and I can motivate him to throw better, I guess.
Yeah, basically.
Okay. So I'm gonna do that. So I'm going to do my throw first.
Okay.
Maybe. Are you fucking kidding me?
13's not bad.
Yeah, but the
A 13
acid
will hit.
1.
Yeah.
Okay,
You were going after the one who was already
who is on
burning.
fire? Yeah.
I mean, he's pretty messed up at this point.
Yeah, my idea was that like the chemicals would like when it hits, it kind of splashes and then kind of ignites it into an explosive.
Yeah, that's a good thought.
And then I will use that tricks thing, but it said, what did it say? Okay, so what it said, the ally gains temporary hit points. Oh, but it just is temporary hit points.
Yeah.
I haven't lost any hit points, right?
Not yet.
Yeah. Okay, so maybe well, influence.
Say neither of your tricks are particularly helpful yet.
Oh, yeah. I didn't realize it was only to hit points. That would have
Yep.
been. So never mind. I'm not going to do that since nobody here is currently running without any hit points. I mean, I am,
And
but it's fine.
all right. Okay. So we're at the top of round 3. All right. Round 3 complication. Dead men in the road. Up ahead, there are several zombies standing in the middle of the road, trying to flag the heroes down in order to help them. It is a challenge. I need a dexterity vehicles check from the driver.
Zambambos.
So the dead are trying to flag us down like they need help so that we'll stop and help them?
Yep.
Oh, that's brutal.
I'll take a 23. That sounds good.
Yeah, that sounds great. This was a challenge. You succeeded by 10 or more. So gain 2
Splat.
chase points. I have not gained a single chase point. This is super frustrating.
We're too fast.
Yeah, I mean, zombies are always going to stop and help other zombies. It's what they do.
Right. The driver zombie will actually, because of the, is going to specifically, well, no, yeah. Where's my driver zombie? I have too many windows open.
Stop and replenish his cargo, thereby letting us leave.
Son of a bitch. Fail by 5 or more. Gain another chase point, Tom. Well, hell. So one thing during a chase is there can either be a round limit or there can be a one side gets an overwhelming advantage in chase points, which at this point you guys are up to 7 and they have none. So I'm going to say that that is an overwhelming advantage. So the chase is over. However, there is one final thing you will need to, you managed to put enough distance between you guys at this point. As you close in on your destination, you see Beekman's Diner and a nearby gas station that are visible up ahead. Unfortunately, there is a large gasoline truck with zombies hanging off of it, heading straight towards you. Give me a dexterity saving throw using the vehicle's dexterity modifier.
Okie dokie.
And you can, of course, use you do get your benefit of advantage.
So it should be the same as my normal dex, so 16? Yeah, sure.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. It's only a DC 13. All right. So, if the heroes win the chase, the zombies and their jeep manage to crash into the gasoline truck, which in itself then crashes into the gas station, causing a huge explosion, which effectively incinerates and destroys all of the zombies. You are far enough away that you can get to the
Toast marshmallows.
You can. I wouldn't recommend it. So you pull up by the diner just as a small military chopper capable of holding about 8 people lands. And the driver looks at you and screams, "Get in!" What do you do?
Was our CIA agent gathering up the files in the
Oh yeah,
trucks?
he's grabbing up his stuff and running for the chopper. He's not waiting for you. I mean, he's not like abandoning you, but he is immediately following the "get in" order.
Right. He is obeying very quickly and running. But
Yeah.
kind of look to Judith and go, do we trust him or do we go?
Least worst option at this point. At least we're actually getting on this helicopter.
Get to the chopper.
I mean, we could
Get
just
to the chopper.
we could just take the Humvee and go.
We just got chased by a fiery jeep of zombies. Let's get in the chopper and get the fuck away from here.
Yeah, as Judy is like getting herself out from the gun area, she's just like, this vehicle isn't gonna be enough to get us out of here as fast as it can. As fast as it is, something else is gonna catch up with us. These things can drive cars now.
These things can drive cars now.
Oh, we can kind of sort of drive cars now.
Well,
Yeah, Judah says go. We'll take the keys and go.
All right.
Did he get a sample of the chemicals?
Yep.
Okay.
And some of the files, but not all of them.
And some of the files. Cooper looks to the pilot and says, "Take me to the safe house in Evans City." And the helicopter lifts off, heading to the north. As you fly away, you are able to see the Army's contingency plan being put into effect. You can see platoons of soldiers wearing hazmat suits and gas masks, using flamethrowers, and also what appears to be some form of weaponized liquid nitrogen spray, corralling zombies and forcing them into reinforced pens on the backs of Army trucks. You also see some soldiers grappling with bound zombies, forcing them into barrel-like tanks and sealing them inside. You are safe. You have managed to escape, and the helicopter is headed towards the safe house in Evans City. Congratulations. You have survived the typical Army fuck up. What?
Do we see what happened to the hospital?
You do see a large Chinook transport helicopter leaving the hospital. You don't see it get bombed or anything, but
Okay.
you're too far away to see exactly how many people get loaded into the helicopter, but so an epilogue. As the helicopter nears Evans City, there is suddenly a issue with the motor of the helicopter. The pilot looks at you and says, "We don't have a choice. We have to land. Or it's either land or crash." He lands in a cemetery.
Oh, God.
One canister bounces out of the helicopter due to the landing and starts to leak. But fortunately, there is a nearby farmhouse which you can all run off to, which will take us to the actual events of the movie, Night of the Living Dead. So, behind the scenes
Dead Too
thing
Furious.
to know. What? Behind the scenes, Glover was actually playing straight with you guys. He would have sworn you to silence. You might have been tried to be recruited by either the Army or Darrow Chemical, but he actually would have played straight with you guys. Cooper is actually a KGB agent. So congratulations. You've managed to, if you survive this, you've managed to put the weaponized trioxin in the hands of the Soviets. But,
It'll be fine.
I'm sure that'll be fine.
What could possibly go wrong?
They'll only
What
use it
could
on their
possibly
enemies.
go
It's fine.
Hold your phrase to better dead than red.
Better
Maybe.
undead.
But that is the end of this scenario. So thank you guys so much for playing. I hope the audience has enjoyed watching. I hope everybody enjoys Everyday Heroes. If you do, I may be looking to bring some other Everyday Heroes stuff to this channel. Maybe eventually even more Return of the Living Dead. But let me just bounce it around real fast and just get people's thoughts, since we are doing a sneak peek of this of this system and whatnot. So, let's include it so that we can let people know what we think of it. We'll start with Calvin.
Okay. So yeah, from the description of the system, like it's very much based on 5th edition, which I actually have not played a lot of, unless you count Baldur's Gate. I've played the most I've played was the campaign that was on here a few months ago, a time ago. I don't remember when. So I wasn't really coming in with yeah. That was like, gosh, I want to say that was the beginning of this year, but it probably was last year. Because time is weird. But yeah, so I didn't really have like that much of a basis with 5th edition. But I could get into this system pretty easily because I had enough knowledge like from that to know like the basics of it. And then once you actually get into play, like with most things, once you actually get into playing it, I started to understand it a bit more. Particularly with like the I guess they're called plans. Well, plans or tricks, depending on your character. Once I figured out those were like spells, essentially, then I was kind of getting into more of a groove with the system. I do want to try the Pacific Rim Everyday Heroes game, because I got that ages ago, but I had just read through it. I hadn't actually played it, so it was kind of just like, okay, this looks cool. But now actually having played this and having a basis of knowledge to work with, I do kind of want to go back to that. But yeah, no, I like this system. It seems like it would be very adaptable, obviously, to any sort of situation or whichever game or genre you're looking to play.
Any thoughts about Return of the Living Dead specifically?
I mean, other than I'm sure that barrel that they're putting the zombies in is going to stay closed and no one's going to accidentally open it or just hit it a bit too hard. Yeah, I know. I like this. It's just the it feels like it's trying to, replicate the feel of the original movie. The zombies being very difficult to kill, if at all. It definitely feels like that's there. Yeah, no, I like it. I like that this isn't like how it was with the movie. This isn't a world where you can just do enough damage to the zombie and you get rid of it. It's more a matter of surviving and outsmarting the situation than approaching it with force.
Deuce, thoughts?
Much the same. Zombies were super tough in the best possible way. I like that little bit of difference, much like Calvin said, of not just I rolled, I did hit points, it fall down, go boom. So making it a bit more of a struggle was nice. I like the chase rules, and yeah, it's Everyday Heroes lends some familiarity with enough differences to make it interesting. Plus, adding on the zombies on top of it definitely makes it feel a little more higher stakes than your usual just run of the mill D&D like game. So very much liked it.
On Puppy?
Having played very minimal of any of these games. So really I don't have a whole lot to compare it to, but I just like figuring out new ways to play these things and to see what other options there are, and being someone that likes to kind of make up her own, so that I don't have to try and look like an idiot and not know what I'm doing. I can just be like, it's my own game. I'm just making up my own rules. Seeing the different ways that people use them and the way that different skills are used and all of that is really fun. I mean, obviously I'm not a zombie person, so this would not be one that I would gravitate towards just because of that, but I would definitely play other things with this. But I like it. I mean, I like playing different types of things just to kind of get a feel. So whether it's zombies, something that's not my forte, but I liked it. It made it fun, it made it interesting, and then, kind of adding weapons as we go and seeing how those different things work and stuff like that. That's always fun. Makes it a little bit more interesting when it's not like a superhero that's doing these things sometimes. When you're not like, a magic user that can do all these crazy things that are outside of the norm. You're just like a regular person that's just like throwing beer bottles and hoping for the best. I think that makes it more interesting and more real feeling. So it makes when bad things happen feel more worser. It's the word I'm gonna go with because I can't think of anything else right now.
Higher stakes, higher challenge.
Yeah, it feels more like you get more on edge, and the ones mean a lot more, and like it just feels like there's it's a lot more heavy-handed when it comes to like you are really in danger. So that's what I liked best about it. Was it really felt like you really felt more like you were the character and that you were truly in danger. Relatable, I guess, felt like how a normal person would react in this situation. Although hopefully we wouldn't, all give over the dangerous weapon to the KBG or KGB, but it is what it is.
And Jonesy.
So yeah, I enjoyed it. I like horror games in general. One of the things I liked about it was that I still felt that my character was, there was risk to my character because it's a horror game, but I also didn't feel like my character was so brittle that like a stiff breeze was going to shatter my character and kill me. There's a few other games I played where, it's a horror game and therefore, look, I tripped, I fell, I died, or I died during character creation. But so there's still lots that we can do like in combat and stuff, but still there definitely felt like there was risk. Like I'm not a 12th level paladin, and going ah, I'm like, oh, I'm so squishy and stuff. But and the flexibility.
I was gonna say
Yeah, so I kind of agree with everything you guys are saying. I like the fact that, well, for one, like Everyday Heroes only goes up to 10th level. So even a maxed out character is not going to be the same kind of superhuman that you find in like high level D&D. Obviously, as you start going up in level, things become slightly less threatening. Characters in that like 5th through 8th level have that kind of action movie hero competency. You guys were 2nd level, which obviously meant you were, well, squishy. But again, like you said, not so squishy that it was like, well, I can't do anything because I'm going to die immediately. Honestly, the only things I don't like about the system are I haven't played it and run it enough, so I was not nearly as smooth with running it as I would have liked to have been. But that's something that gets better with time. So I liked it a lot. I'm definitely going to try to bring some more Everyday Heroes to our stream, and I'm looking forward to getting my on what?
The Crow. Yeah,
the first one I want to bring is Kong, but or Monarch rather, but
you have to add for like setting specific, both the difference on Play of the Zombies where they're more of a feeling trapped in your own body was nice, and I'm very curious about. We got one type of zombie that was the bleached bone, or I can't remember the name of it, but that means there's other ones, and you'll have to sign up, get the book, and play it for yourself to figure out what they are, because that's both interesting and horrifying at the same time.
So I will tell you, not that we got to use them, but I have 11 different zombie types in my Roll20 library that could have been an issue for part of this adventure, depending on how things had gone. you guys saw 4 of them.
Horrifying,
So,
but very cool.
yeah, no, I like I said, I like Everyday Heroes in general, and I feel like of the Everyday Heroes books that I have dug into that are with properties that I'm actually familiar with, they've done a really good job of taking the things that make that thing feel like itself and bringing them into the game. The drift mechanics for Pacific Rim are one of the coolest mechanics I've ever seen, and I really like them. The different types of Risen that they have for the Crow are really, really cool. And I really like them, and it makes me feel like someone watched way too much, even though I don't think they have the rights to the TV show based on someone watched way too much of the TV show when they were writing the game, and that's okay, because the TV show is probably the best thing other than the original film. Yeah, no, I like it, and I'm looking forward to seeing the finished version of this book after the Kickstarter. So yeah, go back to Kickstarter. All right, well, that is about it for us tonight, guys. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, please check out Evil Genius. Check out their Kickstarter. We will have a link in the chat. I don't know what's going to be on our network next. I know that City of Destiny should be back next Tuesday. And I think something's going to be coming here on Wednesday, but I don't know what. So keep an eye on our socials and our Discord. If you want to support us, you can support us at patreon.com/Untold Stories Project. We will get back to having more content there. I guess just anyone have anything they want to say before we call it a night? Calvin?
Well, I should shout out the Win with Dice channel on YouTube, because that's a thing that I do. If you are on YouTube, please check out the Win with Dice channel. We have a weekly tabletop RPG podcast. We've actually talked to a whole bunch of game designers recently, and this week we got into the game Fathomless Gears, where mech pilots are essentially fishers that go deep underwater to do battle with and recover the remains of these massive fish creatures, while also contending with the eldritch horrors of the deep. It's like a Lovecraftian Lancer RPG sort of thing, that a very specific Venn diagram that I thought was really interesting, and the character creation is also very cool. So yeah, definitely go check out that episode, because we get into a whole lot of conversations about that. And also the book has just some really awesome art.
All right. Deuce?
Thank you so much for watching. Everyone who's here live after the fact, always appreciated. Also, thank you to Evil Genius for letting us dip our toes into this and getting kind of a sneak peek for... This is just a fraction of what they're bringing to the table, so if you liked a little bit, there's a lot more, so definitely check it out. And also, yeah, if you need some fun dice because you can't play a game without dice, always visit the good people at Norse Foundry, and you can use code USP Norse to save yourself 10% on it as well. So save money, get cold metal dice that go clinky clacky and ruin your friend's table, because your friend doesn't deserve that good of a table. You know it to be true. But yeah, so good times. And go Jonesy, go.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. This was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Got a chance to play, which is always nice, with my cool friends. And yeah, and those clicky dice that Norse Foundry makes work really good with Everyday Heroes. So with that, I'll kick it back to Aaron.
All right. Well, that is it for those of us here at the Untold Stories Project. And in the word of the Tarman himself, more brains. Night, everybody.